We've had 3 big ideas at Amazon that we've stuck with for 18 years, and they're the reason we're successful. Put the customer first. Invent. And be patient. We are comfortable planting seeds and waiting for them to grow into trees. There are 2 kinds of companies, those that work to try to charge more and those that work to charge less. We will be the second. We recently greenlit a particular Amazon Studios original. I was in doubt whether it would be interesting enough, but the team had a completely different opinion and wanted to go ahead. I wrote back right away with "I disagree and commit and hope it becomes the most watched thing we've ever made." Consider how much slower this decision cycle would have been if the team had actually had to convince me rather than simply get my commitment. If you're competitor focused, you have to wait until there is a competitor doing something. Being customer focused allows you to be more pioneering. If you do build a great experience, customers tell each other about that. Word of mouth is very powerful. We don't raise the prices, because we believe, and we have to take this as an article of faith, that by keeping our prices very, very low, we earn trust with customers over time. One of the things that gets me up in the morning is knowing that customer expectations are always rising, and I find that very exciting. All businesses need to be young forever. If your customer base ages with you, you're Woolworths. In the old world, you devoted 30% of your time to building a great service and 70% of your time to shouting about it. In the new world, that inverts. If you decide that you're going to do only the things you know are going to work, you're going to leave a lot of opportunities on the table. Most decisions should probably be made with around 70% of the information you wish you had. If you wait for 90%, in most cases, you're probably being slow. We need big failures in order to move the needle. If we don't, we're not swinging enough. You really should be swinging hard, and you will fail, but that's okay. If you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and you won't see a different solution to a problem you're trying to solve. A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. It's perfectly healthy, encouraged, even, to have an idea tomorrow that contradicted your idea today. Smart people are a dime a dozen and often don't amount to much. What counts is being creative and imaginative. As a company grows, everything needs to scale, including the size of your failed experiments. If the size of your failures isn't growing, you're not going to be inventing at a size that can actually move the needle. I think frugality drives innovation, just like other constraints do. One of the only ways to get out of a tight box is to invent your way out. I do get asked, quite frequently, what's gonna change in the next 10 years? I rarely get asked, what's not going to change? The answer to that question can allow you to organize your activities. You can work on those things with the confidence to know that all the energy you put into them today is still going to pay dividends in the years to get something new done. You have to be stubborn and focused, to the point that others might find unreasonable. To invent, you have to experiment, and if you know in advance that it's going to work, it's not an experiment. Most large organizations embrace the idea of invention, but are not willing to suffer the string of failed experiments necessary to get there. We're going to build a road to space so that our kids and their kids can build the future. And we need to do that. We need to do that to solve the problems here on Earth. It's not about escaping. We're working to lower the cost of spaceflight so that many people can afford to go and so that we humans can better continue exploring the solar system. Accomplishing this mission will take time, and we're working on it methodically. Failure comes part and parcel with invention. It's not optional. We all know that distinctiveness, originality, is valuable. We are all taught to be yourself. What I'm really asking you to do is to embrace and be realistic about how much energy it takes to maintain that distinctiveness. The world wants you to be typical. In 1,000 ways, it pulls at you. Don't let it happen. What we need to do is always lean into the future. When the world changes around you and when it changes against you, what used to be a tailwind is now a headwind. You have to lean into that and figure out what to do, because complaining isn't a strategy.